It's Cinco de Mayo. We gotta get the Miata in the shop and do a bunch of little fixes before we can take it out and cruise federal. If you watch the Grand Junction video, on that huge jump, we actually broke the radiator mounts of all the things to break in that jump. That's what happened. So we're gonna weld those up. We gotta clean the air filter. We gotta clean the whole kind of engine situation. But first, my brother made me this 3D printed exhaust cover, and unfortunately it broke off in the exhaust. So my thought is, if I start the car, it'll just puff it up and maybe launch it out. Let's find out. It totally worked. It launched. Hey, Mika. Sorry if I scared you. You don't want this. You do. All right, let's see if you'll catch it. So to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% sure that this is actually steel now that I look at it. I know the radiator's aluminum, but I thought these were steel. Only one way to find out. I wish I could come up with a better way of mounting this, but I just really can't think of anything, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know. That might be a good sign. I think it's actually steel, although it smells weird. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to go for it and find out. That does not seem to be working. Maybe it's painted steel and I did not scrape the paint off. I need to come up with a better way. Turns out this bracket is aluminum. I probably should have put a magnet up to it or something. While we were in Grand Junction ripping on the hundreds of miles of trails, I suddenly looked back and noticed that my other spare tire had vanished. I searched everywhere I could think of, but it just wasn't found. It turns out the reason was the rack is broken. The weld that I did right down there broke. So it should be easy enough to repair. We'll just pull the tire off and weld it up and put on 2 new tires. So it turns out both welds had broken through. So it was basically being held by nothing. That's what cost me a tire. I have 4 of these Maxxis tires left over. They're the 27-inch, and now I'm running 29, so I'll just have these as spares. They're wider than the 2 spares I had in here before. So I'm gonna try and widen this gap a little bit, and hopefully it'll work. All right, we got it welded up. Let's see if it fits. Ooh, not bad at all. We'll take that. Something actually kind of went right for once. New day, new plan. This radiator has these 2 bolts, one here and one down there. So we're going to chop this angle in half, drill 2 holes to mount the radiator, and then we'll drill another one to mount to this bolt here. It may not be perfect, but it will be stronger than this just junk aluminum mount that I had before. So hopefully it'll last at least a couple days because we got some fun plans coming up. We have a radiator mount, and I think I did a decent job. So we got the angle iron, we have bolted into the radiator here and down there, and then the original bolts, and everything has like rubber in between it. So it has a little bit of shock mount, but it's still really solid. Hopefully that lasts a little bit. We also got the air filter cleaned up and drying. This thing gets so dirty. I need to figure out a better way, but I just don't know anything. It's Cinco de Mayo, and we have a big night planned. Let's get dressed up. We did it! We converted it to the Donk. Now it's time to cruise federal. I'm pumped. One of the huge traditions here in Denver is cruising federal. We've never done it, but I've heard about it, and I've never had the right car for it, and now we do. Let's go get into some shenanigans. This is gonna be wild. We got a little puddle. It's not a watertight seal anymore. We've kind of folded the car in half a little bit, and the window doesn't close.
A little puddle?
Yeah. To federal we go, via Colfax. What was my cruising song?
Yeah, like, I feel like
Danza Kuduro is my favorite, one of my favorite songs, so it's got to be that. Danza Kuduro!
Mine would be Gin and Juice.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a more chill cruising song. Mine's more dancey.
Yeah. Well, you got a dancing Miata, so.
It kind of dances. In that it is all over the place. It's very hard to drive. We made it to Federal. Oops, I almost stalled it. Put it into first gear. We made it. I'm not seeing a ton of other people that are out for like cruising quite yet. Maybe we're early or maybe we're in the right spot. There's a taco truck, so. Well, it turns out we may have gone the wrong direction. I just picked a random way, and then Layla's like, I think it's the other way. She used to live down here, so we're heading
Also, in
north.
a better sense of direction.
Miata! This thing is tough to ride in. It's been like an hour and a half of cruising and I'm ready to get out.
Taco time!
Taco time!